how do people perceive Bangkok. And they thought, at the first glance, the visitor or tourist or whoever outside Bangkok would think of Bangkok about in the way that Bangkok is a busy place, chaotic, sleepless city and arousing all the time. But actually, if you really spend time in the city and you see beyond the curtain, you will see something different. So they wanted to present Bangkok in a different way. So it turned out to be the Calm of Bangkok.
Sawadika, I'm Kusuma Yotasmud, your host. Welcome to Thailand Today program. The RHS Chelsea Flower Show is a prestigious garden show held by the UK's Royal Horticultural Society in the grounds of the Royal Hospital, Chelsea, in Chelsea, London. The historic event has been running for 159 years and was held on September 21st to 26th. This year, a team of Thai garden designers called Van By was not only featured at the prestigious event, but also won the Silver Gilt award for their garden display. To find out more, we are joined by now the Van By team and two designers, Ms. พลอยทับทิมสุขแสงof คุณพลอย and Mr. ธวัชชัยศักดิกุลคุณบอย as well as the team's international coordinator, Ms. Panida Yomabut of Kundao here. Sawadika.
Sawadika.
Very welcome to Thailand Today program. By the way, congratulations.
Thank you.
For your success. Well, ma'am and sir, we would like to, one of you can answer me this because the RHS Chelsea Flower Show 2021 and this year team. So what is like? Team, we have to talk to.
I would say the RHS is trying to raise awareness of how important outdoor living is for people's well-being. And this year, in particular, they really want to focus on how important it is to do outdoor activity and garden for your mental health and physical health. And it's the continuous work from the Duchess of Cambridge. She designed the garden for the RHS Chelsea Flower Show 3 years ago, and she focused on mental health with gardening. So this year as well, the theme is still the same.
In fact, I need to know more about this because why do we intend to join this particular program and particular show?
The show, let me put it this way. Chelsea Flower Show is like the red carpet for garden designers. It's like the biggest dreams if you work in this industry. And you know, when Thawachai and Poi Top team were design students, they had to study what was out there in the world. And they heard about the show and they were like, oh my God, this sounds really big. And they kept that in mind for a long time. And about 6 years ago, they went to the UK to visit the show themselves. And the minute they saw everything in front of their own eyes, and they was like, oh my God, we got to do this.
That's me.
Yeah, they got to do this. And they saw like the garden of their idols come to life at the show. So they thought, let's do it, let's give it a try.
Your garden called Calm of Bangkok Garden won the Silver Gilt award under the Sanctuary Garden competition category. So both of you, can you tell me about the award and category?
There are six categories in this garden, in this show. The first is balcony garden, feature garden, container garden, artisan garden, sanctuary garden, and show garden. Yes, we are in the sanctuary garden.
And each category, they differ in size and concept. Yes, and each.
Oh, I see. My thought. I thought it just that much. This what called length and all that the same. No, It's not. It's different. It depends on the. I thought everything the same. So okay, put everything into it.
No. If you've seen some kind of garden show before, this is another thing very different. And each category has 4 classes of awards. The first one is gold medal, and they do have silver gilt, and silver and bronze. So there are 4 awards that will be given to the designers or the garden.
So the award is what? It is one piece of.
It's like a paper, and the medal stick in the middle of the paper.
Nothing else.
No.
You don't get anything else except that,
Apart from
right?
the pride that you have from having the award.
We try for just one paper.
Can you tell us about the design concept and behind it and the message that it aimed to send to the people?
Okay, in order to get to this show, the design has to have some really special concept. If you studied about the other gardens at the show, they all have like very big concept about their country, about raising awareness about something, about national health system in the UK, Bible, religion, something like that. So we had to try to find a concept that will impact the audience. So it turned out that Thawachai and Poi team think about Bangkok. How do people perceive Bangkok? And they thought, at the first glance, the visitor or tourist or whoever outside Bangkok would think of Bangkok about in the way that Bangkok is a busy place, chaotic, sleepless city, and arousing all the time. But actually, if you really spend time in this city and you see beyond the curtain, you will see something different. So they wanted to present Bangkok in a different way. So it turned out to be the Calm of Bangkok.
It is out of my anxious to know the plans and wooden whatever to use in this particular one. How do you get it?
Okay, we started from knowing nothing really. We knew nobody in the UK who would guide or help us, and we just started from just reading lots of materials on the RHS website, and there were lots of emails asking RHS staff like, how do we do this? How do we start? And they just reply back the email. You got to read all of this, like 60 pages of manual. And then they will require you to do a long list of tasks before you can fill in the form. The form itself, the application form itself is like 20 pages. And there were many things that got to be completed before you can fill in the form. For example, not only the design you got to submit to the RHS, you got to have the contractor, the experienced one with the Chelsea Flower Show in previous year. You've got to know in advance, 1 year in advance, where you're gonna sort the planting from, and each plant has to have the planting passport, and all the material that we will use in the garden, you have to know exactly where would they come from. Would that come from the sustainability source or environmental friendly source or not? And you need lots of documents before you can fill in the form.
So what are the highlights of this? The highlights of that the Calm of Bangkok garden?
Okay, I think the Calm of Bangkok interestingly presents 2 sides of Bangkok in the small space, in the minimal modern style of garden. Because if you look at the picture of the garden, around the front border is the busy part of the city. And once you walk inside the garden, it's another feeling. It's the calming atmosphere. And at the corner of the garden is the shelter. You can think of the shelter as a place where you can rest your mind after a long day, busy day in the big city. So the audience or the visitor experience both feeling in this small space.
To win the heart, maybe, of the judge, which part of it? Water, the pipe, the I don't know.
I think they work in the scoring system, and they started judging us since the day we contact them. Professional manner, the way we think of the design, the way we present the design. how we build, would that meet the standard of UK regulation or not, and everything has to be perfect in order to get the highest score.
Especially, we're going to ask you in the later part about the way of doing it, submission and all that kind of thing. So, what made the King Kan by team submit the Calm of Bangkok project to the RHS Chelsea Flower Show in London? How competitive was the submission of this?
It's one of the very biggest event in this industry, and as I said, it's like a red carpet for gardening world, so it's their biggest dream. But they didn't tell us how many designs were submitted to the show, but they will tell you just like you got to adjust this, you got to work on this in order to pass to another round. And it turned out that there are only 6 designs that passed to the final round for the sanctuary garden.
Okay, when we come back, we're going to take a quick break and then we're going to come back and talk about preparations for this, okay? Preparation, because I know you have to have a lot of work to do for that. Let's take a quick break and be back with more of Thailand Today. Don't go away.
About the cabinet meeting. Yeah, our reporter is there.
A press conference will be held later on, and we definitely keep you updated. Kun Cholapansa, back to you.
Thank you very much, Kun Kritika. We'll keep you updated on the story. Stay tuned. You're watching Newsline.
Welcome to Thailand Today program. We broadcast
NBT World, a vision of Thailand.
Thai people have made it through the COVID-19 crisis because we all stayed home for the greater good to stop the spread. However, the global economy is on the decline. Thailand is no different. All sectors need to work together to accelerate our recovery. The government sector will reduce taxes, lower interest rates, and promote the business sector. As for the people, we will have to adapt to the new normal. This means working from home, studying online, finding new means of income, and staying safe. It's only if we can all stay healthy that we'll have the power to move the nation and balance our economy once again. COVID-19 warriors. We will not give up. Thank you for protecting us during the COVID-19 crisis. Thank you to the chefs who kept people full. Thank you to the dancers who helped create happiness in this dark period. Most importantly, thank you, the Thai people who have bravely endured this epidemic together. We will not give up. We can and we will to redefine the future of our nation. Let's join hands, COVID-19 warriors.
Welcome back. You're watching Thailand Today. We continue our discussion with King Kan by team, an international acclaimed award-winning garden design company. Well, sir, madam, can you tell us about the preparation that went into this and how long it takes? And that's including logistic and strict standards and rules and regulations.
Okay, it took a year before we can fill in the form, and after we fill in the form, it took another.
Fill in the form from Bangkok,
Yes.
right? And then
Okay. Everything was done in Bangkok before we submit the form, but we had to contact the contractor. We had to do like a proposal, introduce ourselves, who are we, and what we want to do.
How many contractors did you reach?
We sent about 10.
Oh, really?
10
To choose
contractors.
the
Yes.
best of it.
You got to think about we are nobody from the small country, but they are experienced builders for this show.
Yeah, 159 years.
Yeah, so we had to win win their hearts, win their trust, because if they agree to work for us, it means that another year they can't take another job to do the show, the same show. So we had to prove that we really determined to do this, and we have potential to do it. And we had to send them the design and the concept. So after the contractor agreed to do it, so we can work on other documents like building, construction document, planting, passport, timber certificate, metal certificate, everything. So we had to have all of this, a bunch of documents before we can submit the form. And from the day that we submitted the form, it took about 3 or 4 months to know the results. And after we knew that we were selected, it took another 6 months to process everything. But that year was the first time in I don't know how many years that the show was cancelled due to COVID-19. It was another 2 years until it really happened.
All right, Kundao. Though I cannot see the actual garden that you've been doing there and built there, so take me around to see what we can see something here, right? All right, we will come back and see you, Kun Boy and Kun Ploy, later on. Well, Kundao, what are the challenges when it comes to the mix of the traditional garden?
I think the challenge was that we had to do it in a nice way, to how to combine them nicely, and we had to put Thai elements in the modern way. How would we put the hammock and screen that made by an old lady from Suphanburi in the traditional style that they made in a minimal modern garden, and how would we present it to people in the UK in the way that they
have
would
more land, mostly. So
Yeah.
minimal to model style,
Yeah.
more acceptable these days.
And I think most of the people in the UK would think of Thailand in a country that really rich in cultural and art and culture, but we wanted to convey another message. We do have modern styles as well, so we had to put this concept into the garden.
Like today, what we're seeing here now, these are the Thai plants,
Yes.
right? This is so beautiful. Look at this. The color is very pale color, like Britishers. I mean, they do like it.
Yeah, and you can see that they kind of mix
It's
the
a mix.
different
Yeah.
form of plants.
So many in once in this block.
Yeah, but when they come together, they look perfect. And in this dress bed,
I know. That is beautiful.
that will keep the garden tidy all the time.
No, it's not a look 100% tidy, but somewhat.
Yeah,
nice to look
it
at
gives you a feeling of calming, relaxing, cozy.
Now, as we all know that we have to be masked, we have to be this thing and on that sort of. What is doing any effect to you during this COVID-19 to your business?
There were more rules and regulations that we had to follow to keep everyone safe. But at the same time, I think more people stuck at home and felt more stressed. So there were more people wanted to redo their garden. So it has another effect as well.
So the impact is in a better way.
Yeah, I would put it that way.
In that way.
Yeah.
Very interesting. Okay. So we enjoyed the walking. So we need to hear more about some other part of it, like the budgeting, in terms of the expenditure that being used there in England. Were you there? You were there before.
Yes.
Yeah, so you like to enjoy the plantation, the garden of the king, the queen, you know.
Yes, I did.
They do like it so much.
Yeah, everyone thinks it's important to do like outdoor stuff, gardening.
We are back with Kun Boy and Kun Ploy with us. And tell me, Kun Boy, this is for the sake of the people who our audience or viewer may like to hear about it. If you have a small, not a very large amount of expenditure, expense of money. So what can they do to minimize the amount?
Okay. As you see, we will arrange everything in the order and make everything in the simplicity. It's so easy. Everything is easy.
Yeah, but we still need some particular kinds of plantation, a higher one, like you know. I mean, they look good. Not that because a small amount and you buy something petties, you know.
Yeah.
In that case, can we get a better plantation also?
I think just choose something that need low maintenance and that would last long. I think it's better to invest one time. Invest with something that look beautiful and you like it and low maintenance and last long. It's rather than just buy cheap stuff and then you have to keep changing it. And the key is as well to keep what really essential for your outdoor space and get rid of things that you don't really need. And that would make your outdoor living space look nice all the time and keeping orderly like what Chai said.
Yeah, the maintaining is difficult.
Yeah.
So is that also needed part of it, right?
I think you have to study the plant, each plant very much for care of them.
Yeah, because each plant needs different kind of care, so you have to know the plant as well.
Kun Ploy, my last question is last but not least. So it's important for the younger generation. If they would like to learn about this and like to come into this field, can you give advice to them?
Improve yourself all the time. Practice design thinking and creative thinking. Always make a plan. Pay attention to detail. Communicate with the team and be a good team.
And also you have to have a very broad minded to hear about competition here and there, right? We try to compete with some of the groups on that, you know, so that you can.
Yeah, you just can't keep yourself in a small space. You have to expose yourself. Yeah.
Especially for Thai people, for Thailand, actually, we have a vast variety of plantation or even technology. Thailand is one of the, not that bad to go with other people and to do this thing. So keep learning. All right, thank you very much. And well, time is up now, and we're going to see you next time. See you in person in our studio. Unfortunately, we have run out of time. Thank you so much, King Gan by team. There are two designers here, Kun Ploy Thaptim and Kun Thawat Chai, and international coordinator Kun Panida, for speaking to us about your award-winning gardening capacities on this bold stage. That's all the time we have for today broadcast. We do broadcast every Tuesday to Friday at 9 p.m. on NBT World and live on YouTube channel. Do not forget to like and comment on our Facebook page, Thailand Today Online. I'm Kusuma Yotha Smut. สวัสดีค่ะ